take on the darkness, stare down deceit. Murder in the headlines, justice in the beat. From cold case whispers to killers in disguise, we rip off the mask, expose all the lies. Facts like bullets reload and deliver. Truth cuts deep like a blade in a river. Corruption shakes when the mic goes live. We dig where others won't survive. Change rolling through the smoke. Truth hits hard, no time for a joke.
This is 12 Gauge Investigative. Let's jump in.
Locked on the case, we investigate. Cold files heat up when we penetrate. The only source you'll ever need. 12 Gauge Investigate. We make them bleed. No games, no censors, just truth. Justice is loud, and we're the sound. This is 12 Gauge Investigative. Pull the trigger on the lies. No censors, just truth. Justice is loud, and we're the sound. This is 12 Gauge Investigative. Pull the trigger on the lies.
All right. How y'all doing on this Friday afternoon, I guess it is? I'm tripping because I've never been on this early before, only on my days off for vacation time. My name is 12 Gauge, and welcome to my channel, 12 Gauge Investigative. This is your first time here. I hope that you find something that interests you and keeps you coming back. I'm going to take it kind of slow today. I don't have a deadline. I don't have to get this live done in any particular time. I can take my damn time. Unlike most of the time when I have deadlines and things I need to do, I got to have an hour, 2 hours, all that good stuff. So how's everybody doing on this Friday evening? I've been thinking about some things that I want to talk about that I haven't really spoken on in a while. And I might use some people's stuff. So I've been told before that, that I could use their stuff. We're going to talk about a green car. And I want to talk about how that just does not match up to anything other than wild conspiracy, wishful thinking, and how people want to make stuff really match up when it really doesn't. This case is something else. I mean, I haven't watched in a couple days because I've been doing other stuff, but when I watch it, it just blows my mind a little bit how certain things come out of context sometimes, and how people are so definitive on their thoughts about it, which there's nothing wrong with that. Let's start with the first thing first. Let me say hello to the people. Rondi, how you doing? Texas, how you doing, buddy? I'm going to go ahead and start with the document that is on the top of the list. So this came out 5:30, so I guess that's today. And this is the only thing that really came out new, so I want to go ahead and talk about it a little bit. It said the state of Idaho versus Brian C. Koberger, the defendant, case number CR01 24 301665. Order sealing state's proposed supplemental jury instruction. It says, based upon the state's motion to seal state's proposed supplemental jury instruction filed, the court does hereby confirm an order that it is exempt from disclosure and sealed pursuant to the Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32G 1 and I for the reasons stated in the said motion. 5/29/25, Judge Hippler, signature, and that's really everything with that. So nothing really extravagant to talk about there, but I'm sure people will make 5-hour lives about that one little document. Let me see if there's anything else that came out, because I haven't looked at this for a while. It looks like everything's pretty sealed up. Looks like they're wanting to seal up everything for... Let me show you, that way you don't think I'm lying. This is the one before it. The court having before it the motion to seal defendant's amended Phase 2 mitigation witness list and good cause appearing now. Therefore, it is hereby ordered defendant's amended Phase 2 mitigation witness list shall be filed under seal pursuant to LCAR 32, IC 74-124, IB and C. So ordered 5/29/25. So most of the stuff is nothing really extravagant, just motion to seal certain stuff. Man, I do want to give an advertisement for Wendy's right now. If you haven't been to Wendy's in a while, they have a Frosty that is cookies and cream caramel color covered stuff, and it is just quite delicious. Let me go ahead and give you this other one because it's really... I don't want to say that I didn't go over all the new documents, because I'm definitely doing that. Happy Friday to you, Leslie. Happy Friday to you. This one is defendant's notice of compliance. Comes now Brian C. Koberger by and through his attorneys of record and hereby submits to the court his notice that the defense submitted a log of objection to the state's exhibits to the state of May 13, 2025, after meeting with them on May 8, 2025, and May 8th meeting, the defense verbally identified which exhibits would be used for the guilt phase and the penalty phase. The joint log spreadsheet of the state's objections and the defense objections to exhibits was submitted by the state to the court on May 14, 2025, pursuant to the court's unredacted, sealed order governing further criminal proceedings and notice of trial setting, filed October 9, 2024. Dated this 20th day of May, 2025. So once again, there's really not a lot going on here. There's not a lot of stuff. If you go to the Idaho page, there's not a lot going on. So there's not really a lot to really discuss as far as the documents are concerned. Now, I do want to talk about this, though, because I was talking to Jeff about this not long ago, and we're laughing about it, actually, because it's so silly. But let me see where he did that. I think he did it in a post. Yeah, let's start right here. Thank you so much for that, Leslie. I just saw it. Um, Thank you so much for the $3 super stickers. That means a lot. Thank you. And if y'all haven't been on Jeff's page in a while, he did a demo here. It says, here's a quick little demo of my Real-Link RLC 520A infrared camera. The camera at 1330 Linda Lane, according to Kane Francetic, is an RLC 522A. No real differences in how the infrared works on both cameras. Both models have 18 little infrared lights around the lens of the camera. They emit infrared distance light of a distance of 100 feet. You'll notice in this test that I found my little green notebook from the live I did with 12 gauge a while back. The little green notebook that went white on the camera and convinced many that the Elantra, in my opinion, seen on the Linda Lane camera, could be a color and not white. At the time, I didn't realize the infrared cameras present different colors differently depending on what the objects on the camera are made of. Whether they metal, paper, or plastic, my green notebook isn't made of metal, and the Elantra is certainly not made of paper. As you can see in this test, it's damn hard to get any of the green things put in front of the camera to go white when in infrared mode. The white Matchbox car, though, has no problem presenting itself as white. Also note the lights around the camera lens to my eye appear white, but they appear purple to my iPhone camera that took the photo. So as you can tell, what he's trying to say here is that would be amazing, Leslie. Good Lord, I'd probably faint. As you can see here, the white vehicles are white. These other miscolored vehicles, this one's a darker shade, this one's a darker shade. Here's the notebook that is green, that obviously paper turns it into white. This is a smiley face that is obviously yellow, but you can still see some kind of the tint around it. Now let's see what it looks like in color. So this is what it looks like in color. As I was showing you, the green vehicle right here, if we go back, you can see the darkness of the color. So if you go to this one, it's blue, red, green, teal, green, green, yellow, another green. So here's a green Sharpie. So look at what it does to the colors. If these truly would turn these green vehicles, because this one's green too, the one with the stripes, the darker colors is the green. This is the green Sharpie. If these were, in theory, like many people want to say, then obviously that would turn those white, would it not? Tell me what you think, chat. Did Jeff onto something right there, or do people still not believe that he actually corrected what he did on let's see what this is. I don't know what that is. Hey PKC, how are you doing? As what I was saying, he's able to change the colors. Can y'all see that accordingly, or do I need to make it a little? Can y'all still hear me? Let me know if y'all can still hear me, because if y'all can, I'm going to stay behind the scenes and just talk. Give me a thumbs up or something if y'all can still hear me. So let's take a look at this photo in color, okay? I want you to memorize the photo. This is green, 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 There's a green, there's a green, there's a dark green, there's a teal. This is white, this is blue, and this is black. And this is red and blue and blue. So let's take a look at this in infrared. Okay, cool. I'm glad that y'all can still hear me. So I'll just stay behind the scenes and not worry about being on camera at the moment. So did y'all notice that what I was telling you as far as the green, black, or this is blue, this is black, in theory, the way they want you to believe this, that if the green's going to turn to white every time the infrared camera shines on it, which is not. This vehicle is green right here. Look, it is almost a black tint. This is definitely yellow. This is green. It did not turn white like the notebook did. The cap turned a darker shade because these are green. This is a pick, a green pick. So it turned a different color, but it didn't turn white like these two objects did. This is a white vehicle. This is a green notebook pad. Here is this is obviously red. And here is a different color as well. And as you notice, the color turns a darker shade. So that's what you would see. What do y'all think about that? Isn't that pretty interesting? It's a lot more interesting than what we did that night because he's actually showing you how the infrared camera works and what kind of camera he has. See, these are the infrared camera lights. And here's the camera. So in theory, if we were talking about Linda Lane as well, look how little that camera lens is. And I wish I could zoom in on this. I think, let me see if Jeff is available. He was at Goodwill earlier. Let's see if he's available. Let me text him right quick and see if I can get him that way. It is cool. I mean, because that pretty much debunks the green car theory. Because if we go back, this is the same type camera that was at Linda Lane. The camera that we saw that would have seen that vehicle wasn't this kind of camera. It was a light bulb camera. So in theory, if that light bulb camera had the same kind of infrared lenses somehow, then it would have done the same thing to the colors that you see here that people say infrared lights turn green into white or colors into white. Take a real good look at this. See, that's a red. There's a red. There's a blue. There's a dark blue. Orange. I mean, obviously it turns orange into a lighter shade because I believe, and this is just theory, I believe that the lighter the color, the easier it is to turn into a lighter hue. See how the orange turned into almost a greenish looking tint? See, even right there, looking at this right here, it doesn't look white. It does look white around the paper, but it doesn't look, you can tell that it was once a color. Now that I look at it, see that? Look at these colors. You can tell that this is a green car. Like I told you, these are green outlines. This is a green car. This is a green car. And this one turned a little white because it is paper. The same thing with this. What color is that little area right there? That is red. So obviously the reddish tint part of this paper allows it to turn white. So all those people that have been talking about that green car can pretty much see for yourself that there's no way that car would have turned this color white. This green, this green. This is kind of white because of the whitish tint, I believe, but look at all this other colors and what happens to it. This doesn't turn white, doesn't turn gray. You can still see a tint of the yellow. And look at the black. Did the black turn white? No, it didn't. It stayed black. This is obviously black. It didn't turn a color. This is the green car. This is the red car, I believe. No, this is the teal car. So it still stayed a consistency of color. It didn't change to this white. Now, if all these cars, if this green car would have turned white and this blue car obviously turned a different color, but you can still see the black outline. So that's what I wonder too, if that green car would have turned white and it had a front license plate. So if that front license plate would have turned white as well, then the whole car would have been white with a white license plate. So if I-Duh-O license plate is white, red, and blue, let me get out of this page for a minute. There I am. I was like, where the hell am I? Where did I go? So let's look at the I-Duh-O license plates. So as you can see, these I-Duh-O license plates, unless they are black, customed, they look like they have red, blue, in the mountains and the white. So in theory, that license plate that supposedly was bent, would you still not have seen some red at the top and maybe some of the wording of I-Duh-O to be able to see that it was definitely a license plate from I-Duh-O? What I can remember, it looked like just a regular white license plate that didn't have any significant color at the top of where it was bent. It looked like it was bent pretty good. So I was not able to see any, but this looks like a darker red than these. I wish I had somebody from I-Duh-O in here to be able to tell me if indeed it is a darker color or if these lighter colors are specialized plates. Because these are obviously specialized and they're black and white, just like most states. And it looks like these right here are specialized, obviously, like this one. So I would say that if we were looking at that license plate, kind of like right here on this one, this is what it would look like on the front. But what they were trying to show you that day is that this license plate was bent. So even if it was on the back, this is what it would look like on the back. So if that license plate was bent on the front, which this is obviously in the front, if it was bent, it showed a little bitty cutout like right here, and the license plate was lower, and it showed like the license plate was bent under here. You would have been able to see this part, I believe, on how it was hinged on the vehicle, wouldn't you think? Tell me what tell me what y'all think. Tell me, PKC, would you have been able to see the red part of the Idaho plate on that bent area? Because I don't want to show that dude's video to be able to show that plate. You see if Jeff has any green. He doesn't. But he does have this one. So, to make a point here, when you go and watch that video and they're showing you that this license plate is bent under, like it's been in a wreck or something, wouldn't you be able to see the red part and a little bit of the Idaho lettering? Even if it was a black plate, like I said, even if it was a specialized plate. See, they have black on red and they have black on white. And even these other specialized, even these yellow ones, you would definitely be able to see a difference unless that license plate looked like this and it was solid white. But I didn't see any wording that said Idaho whatsoever. I didn't see any kind of, see, unless it was one like this with the fish, you know, or something like this. But why would you have this kind of a license plate on a vehicle? I would believe that you'd have something like this, or maybe these are some of the oldest license plates. But to see that license plate in that video that people are trying to get you to see that's bent, okay, this says current. So these are the current plates right here, just like this one and this one. So go back and look on that car, and if you see that license plate is bent over, you would be able to see that red and possibly the word Idaho. I don't know anything about a bent plate. Well, in order to show you, maybe I can show JB's. I don't want to show that other dude's stuff. I don't think JB would care. Let me show you what he did the other day. Okay, let me show you what JB did the other day. Because I was watching his live, and this is just commentary, JB. Please don't strike me for this. Hey, look who's right here in the corner. Do we know that masked man? Let's see if I get to. Okay. He was commenting on somebody's video. how they were saying that this car didn't have a, it looked like it didn't have a front plate. And how right there, see right there, hold on. Can y'all see that? Okay. It's hard to tell with this because it's, it's not clear. It's blurry as shit. But you get my point, right? If this was an Idaho plate and it was clear, if the picture was clear, you would be able to see the red on top, the blue on bottom with the little mountains and the freaking Idaho letters in black with the numbers. It's just shady to me the fact that it's so freaking blurry you can't tell what it is. See, that's the Elantra in question. That's the Elantra with no license plate. So that is what people are saying, that this Elantra had a bent license plate, and this is really the green car, as I can tell. No, Jesse, I believe that you're tripping. There's my favorite person right there. How about you drink some wine, Jesse, and leave these grown folks to our business? Hit the other video. Okay, here's another one. What they're trying to say is, it's hard to see this because they're trying to say that license plate is bent and that this one was bent also. So it's the same car, but a green car. You know, as you can tell, that car is green, right? So with just theory, here's a better one. See, you can kind of see that's almost a clearer picture, but what they're trying to say is this is the same car as this. And what the individual who was doing this video and presenting this was saying, it's clear as day. You can see it. It's clear as day. No, it's not clear as day. But as you can see, that license plate right there is bent. So if this is the car that was going around and around and around that night, would you not have seen the license plate bent if it was truly a green car? Would you have not seen that license plate kind of sticking out like that if it was not the same car? I don't believe so. But many people have their theories, like I said, you know, and this was hilarious. He said this green car was actually doing drug deals around the residences. That's why, you know, his theory was trying to be presented. So what do y'all think about that? You think that that green car, um, good. I was showing some stuff of yours. I'm glad you're here because I'd like for you to be able to come up here and discuss um this camera. You know how people are. Maybe I need to drink some wine. That way I can be a manly man. Manly man, mandela, da, 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 da. And this is the camera view that was caught color with the color. Obviously, you can tell that the back tail lights are red. There's a white streak, and that car obviously looks white to me. Even if this was infrared, obviously the car is white. So there's no way that that car was green passing by unless it hit a vortex where outside of the camera view, it was green. It hit the vortex of the camera and turned white all of a sudden. And they got the photoshops, not the Photoshop. They got the still images, and then the car left out of the camera view, and all of a sudden it turned green again. Because every time the car went to a drug deal, it would turn green to signify, hey, we got cash. So what's up, Jeff? You gonna be able to come up here and discuss this with me, or what's going on? Let me know because I'm using your stuff right now. So I think Lana just showed this as it's the green car for a herring. Okay, so she was saying that the green car was a red herring. So the green car going around Linda Lane was really the white car that they saw on the camera. None of it makes sense, Leslie. No matter how you want to paint it, it doesn't make sense one way or the other. And I know that you didn't come up with the theory, so I'm not throwing shade your way. But in reality, it's a white car. It's a white car. It's a white car on it was a white car on the 13th. It was a white car on January 1st. It's a white car today. And it'll always be a white car regardless of what people want to see. The green car theory makes for a good discussion, I guess. It makes for a good let's talk about this for hours because this could confuse people and they really won't know what we're talking about. So therefore, we can talk for hours about a green car that really does not exist. Let me go back to my page here because I put a green car on mine as well. I thought this was hilarious. Did y'all see this? Brian kicking the cat. And there it kind of gives you a little bit of what kind of damage knives do to you. There the girl beating Brian up. That was my breakfast last Saturday. And there's the targeted house. And there's Brian coming in on DoorDash through the back door. And if you didn't see this one, this was the Indiana stop. Hence the Indiana tank top. That's his dad. Drinking a 40, getting ready for going to Pennsylvania. And there's supposedly Brian standing outside of 1112. And there is the white Elantra with the white undertone, all beat up. There's the tunnels. There's the parachuter. And there's the ninja. If you haven't seen these, they're on my page. So I didn't kick the cat. Those Dateline leaks will free poor Brian. So what you in for? See, this one really pissed people off because they said I was making fun of autistic people, which I wasn't. How many people do you know get proud about buttoning their top button? Let me get to what I want to show you. There's a good shot right there. "12 had an imaginative mind and is autistic." Well, thank you, Texas. Now, I took this still shot, and people say that the pumpkins are white. What do you think about those pumpkins being white? As what I showed you about the orange towel that we were talking about, Jeff's orange towel and the red alien thing he has there. Don't you think that those pumpkins are really orange and they don't turn white under the camera? They didn't turn white. They're still orange, but the car is white. So if this car was green, this tent would be darker and you'd see a dark colored vehicle, just like what Jeff showed in his freaking theory. And here's another photo of the car. Does this look like a damn green car to you? Does that look like a green car to you? It does not. It does not. That looks like a white car all day long, every day of the week, and it does not have a white or a license plate whatsoever. So people can argue if they want. This car right here is actually the real car that was parked back behind Queen Road Apartments. And in another video that I believe, what was his name? Get a Clue? He did a whole video on this green car. And he actually showed the car back there behind 1122 along that back row right there. He showed that green car next to the white Chrysler 300 because he was trying to say that the Chrysler 300 was actually the white car that was traveling around the Linda Lane apartments during all the timestamps. Yeah, it is about as green as a speed limit sign. Yeah. But you notice they won't come in here to discuss it. They'll just stay out there and lurk and talk crap, which is fine. I think it's hilarious. Because you know darn well that was not a green car, and that green car is not going to be brought into evidence. And I don't believe that they have anything about the alternate suspects either that's going to be worth viewing at all. Because if they did, why did they wait so long? Was that like their jack in the hat? Like, oh, we tried everything. Let's pull this ace out of our ass. I don't either, Jeff. Can you come up for a little bit and discuss that little camera? And then you can go. I mean, if you want or need to. Because I need people to hear your explanation of the camera. We were not at the pool party. Brian always looks so defeated in these pictures. Personality testing. Oh, did y'all see he got a personality test the other day and the guy's name was Dr. Gage? Isn't that hilarious? I've been denied. I was stargazing. Right here is where, along this back wall, let me see if I can show you. But no, you can't see it. But along this back wall right here, that's where that green car and that Chrysler 300 was supposed to be. Yeah, let me send you a link. I saw that. I was like, Dr. Gage, that's pretty cool. Yep, that's what you can end up looking like by the time this trial's over. This is my favorite. Jeff made that. I can't take credit for that. Hey.
Hey, the Fonz.
I can't take credit for that. Hey, you want to pull up your page or you want me to pull it up?
Maybe you should pull it up. Might be faster. I just have to be sure I'm off of here before the wife gets home.
Okay.
She will chop my head off if she's like, "What are you doing?"
Well, we don't want your head to be chopped off on a live, Jesus.
You all will be covering the Jeff H case.
Yeah. Can you explain? I mean, I tried to explain it, but I wasn't in JB's live when you were explaining this. Can you explain this really quick?
Yeah, and believe me, before I even start saying anything about infrared cameras, I'm no expert yet. I'm trying to understand as much as I can, but it's hard to. If you do a Google search for videos and knowledge of this stuff, it's not like it's all over the place. So, but
Right.
my understanding and remember when we did the first test the first time, that notebook was one of the main stars of the video, right?
Of course.
And that green notebook went white. And at the time, it just didn't occur to me. It's like, wait a minute, maybe it's about the material that the item is made of. And
Yeah.
Elantra is not made of paper, and the notebook's not made of metal, obviously. And then what little I've researched on it, I've understood that infrared light has a lot to do with reflection and absorption. And depending on whether the object absorbs the light hitting it or it reflects it will determine like the brightness that returns in a grayscale. There's no color on the camera. It's not showing you any color. It's just showing you tones and shades between black and white. So it's basically a black and white image, but it is only showing you light as it understands it based on just only looking at that infrared light spectrum. And the camera, you can see, is
looking at this. So looking at this with the light on, and if it was an infrared mode, you would be able to see these colors, right? Or would it still change it to this view?
No, it still look like that view. It's a good question though, because I didn't actually say how I lit this. So when you see the infrared image, I'm sitting in complete darkness except for a little bit of light coming from my computer monitor at my desk.
And
But
I noticed after what I was telling them, I noticed that I could see this a little darker now after looking at that other page than how it looks white. Like you can see a shade that's still in that notebook.
yeah. Well, here's what's interesting. And I had just started to do a little experimenting with it. It's like I'm curious. Okay, I'm looking at it in infrared mode, just like you're looking at it right now. I wonder what it will do if I take out my iPhone flashlight and shine a light across all this stuff on my desk. You couldn't see that light at all, except for like if it reflects in the metal. But it didn't show at all. It's like it's not even seeing that that spectrum of the flashlight. It's only throwing back or what it understands as the infrared light, which is those lights. Now, to your eye, if you're looking at my camera, those lights aren't purple like that. That's just the way that the iPhone is interpreting the color. They're actually red. They look like perfect red.
I was like, are those like black lights? Is this a microphone or are these the cameras?
So the big circle is the camera. I think the one right above it is probably like a motion sensor so that it triggers, when it would go on and off if you have it set that way. I was trying to figure
out where the mic was.
The mic is the little, that's it right there at the very top. That little tiny hole is where the microphone is. Now, granted, I shouldn't be down on the camera's mic. It is a pretty good mic, but when people are talking about it picking up sounds from inside a house, 100 yards away, behind walls, with a Queen Road apartment building in between. I just don't see it.
Right, because look at that little hole. I mean, that's a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, if it can pick up that much sound, man.
Now, granted, too, when like my Linda Lane videos, I cranked the volume on those so that
Right.
and I compressed it so that because I'm bringing the loud sounds down and the low quiet sounds up so that they're in the same range. Because remember in the beginning when Linda Lane was first released, the footage, everybody was like, the person on the live stream would mute their microphone and everybody'd sit there in silence for, just listening and listening. And then if something loud happened, you got to reach for your volume knob and turn it down before you blow your speaker. So that was my initial motivation to even do the Linda Lane footage, to compress it so that you could sit there without having your hand on your volume knob the whole time. And
Well, it looks like red and yellow and any kind of blue gets totally washed away because you can't
Well,
see
you
it
see-
on the box.
yeah, well, and it's also, I don't know if it's so much about the color, but the material.
Yeah.
So here's the thing I don't understand. If I'm going to assume that paper material absorbs the light and metal reflects the light. That's at least the way it would work with regular light that we use. If I'm trying to shine a light back at you, I'm going to use something metal or a mirror. That would be the best source material.
Yeah.
Not a piece of paper. Definitely not a notebook.
Right.
So
So
makes
we're
me
in,
wonder.
So we're in agreement that Elantra is not made out of paper, right? That's not
Yeah,
a paper
you
mache
do.
Elantra with jack stands.
In the YouTube community that we got to deal with out there, you got to ask that question, don't you? It's a shame. But
Yes, I do. Yes,
you
I
do
do.
have to
Yes,
ask it.
yes, I do. Because you know what? That'll be the next theory. It really wasn't a white Elantra. It was a paper mache vehicle that was being strung along in a, what did they call those images? Like when you're doing a shooting, it's like 3D model, and you're
Uh-huh.
like just shining light from the car, and the camera's capturing what it looks like a full-fledged vehicle being blown up. It's really not. It's just a matchbox being blown
Just a
up, and
small
that's what we're.
version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know if you noticed. I see typically mentioned. Hey, typically the pumpkins. Now I did
yeah,
for that reason. That's why I did put something orange. Those little cables in the bottom left are you
yeah.
know
This
orange as well.
cow is.
There's a little orange plastic thing at the very top of the screen, right in the middle. It was a little like a battery cover.
Yeah,
So I was trying to grab colors that were relevant to what we're discussing with the pumpkins, with the Elantra.
but this
But
is
you can
definitely
see,
green.
I could not get any of those green cars to go white like we're seeing
Right.
on the cameras.
This is
The white
this is
car,
green.
but the white car, no problem, right? So,
Well, Jeff, do you have the still shot of that 11-12 camera on hand really quick? Because I want to show the people something about that white truck that's that
yeah.
that's back there by the dumpster. We all know that truck is white, right? So nobody can dispute that truck has ever changed colors. Come on, it's AI 12. No, it's not. Do you see that orange towel? See this orange towel? It doesn't even turn white. It turns kind of, you can almost see the ripples in the towel. It's like the different levels, like the towel has been washed so much that you can see where there's still new towel and old towel that's been
The other thing to
used.
keep in mind too is that the pumpkins are close to the camera. And now now I don't have the same camera as a light bulb camera. It's not exactly the same. But my camera is only one model number off of what is over at 1330 Linda Lane. Because the owner of that camera told me he has a 522, mine's a 520. So it's that close in camera. Looks exactly the same. But the thing is, he sent me actually the specs for that camera, and it shows in the specs that the infrared lights, those 18 little lights, they cast out only 100 feet from the camera. So,
Okay.
which, looking back on it, of course, everything on my desk is closer, much closer than 100 feet. So it is the benefit of that those little infrared lights is solid. It's where it's it's getting plenty of that light. The pumpkins are close to the camera. That's very much closer if you assume that camera is also got 100-foot infrared light throw.
There's something about the orange color that makes it not reflect light because it turns it a different shade. Kind of like this red car back here. It's not necessarily white, but it's a lighter shade. And this alien thing, we know that this is a red exterior, and this is the interior of it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did put Kenny in there too because he's orange.
Yeah. I mean, but also if you look at this, if people's theories were holding true, these black eyeballs would turn what color? White. And they didn't. This is a blue vehicle with a black top. The black stayed black. The blue lightened up. So it looks like the primary colors don't reflect light that well. Red.
I don't
blue.
think it's my gut tells me it's not so much what color it is, but just how bright the color is. Like if you think about before color TV, like I Love Lucy and all those types of shows, they had a perfect understanding of how this color shirt is going to look in black and white. It's going to end up coming out at this brightness level or that brightness level, gray or white or black. So it's kind of like that. So you can see two things. We can learn two things from this this shot. Is that paper and metal act differently with the same colors, and that I'm pretty sure it's correct to say that it's every color has a certain level of brightness to it. If you look at color bars, you remember color bars? They used to have them when the TV channels. I'm aging myself. You got the color bars. You got the all the colors of the primary colors. Well, they're not primary colors. They're even more. But if you look at them on a waveform monitor that shows you brightness, they are gradually. See, I understand, right? I don't look at. We don't use them as much anymore. Vector scope or waveform monitors, but they go gradually down. Let me find one. This should be easy to find a waveform monitor with color bars.
Well, did you find the still image?
Oh, squirrel. Sorry, squirrel.
Yeah. Come on, Kathy, chill out. Let us play for a little while.
I know. It always is like you always talking about my favorite subjects, and there's like, oh, the phone rings, or she's.
I was like, wait, he's usually answering at this time. What the hell?
Wait, let me just show you this picture real quick because I think this is very interesting to this and should be at least preserved in your live stream here. Okay, this is. Okay, let me just share this. Present share screen. This one, boom.
Like, no, Kathy's heading home. Stop off and get dinner.
All right, so I don't know if you can make that bigger to see because unfortunately the waveform it's relatively small.
Yeah, that's as big as I can make that.
Well, so what you can see, so this B line right here, it's just a bit over 100. This right here represents this white block here. So let's see. A is the just 80% white, which is there, and then you can see the stairs. I kind of call it stair steps. It goes down gradually in brightness. So yellow is second bright to white, cyan, green, magenta, red, blue. So you get a sense of, it's kind of like the waveform monitor is kind of viewing this more as a black and white image and just telling you the brightness values of each color.
Well, of course, that makes sense because the more light that you add to those, the lighter it gets or the darker it gets, correct? And that's what you were saying that camera does? It either sends more light and the reflection of the light either makes the color send the color back or send just the image back.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way. Like my understanding is like if you look at a green tree with your just regular eyes, you're outside, the leaves are absorbing red and blue, but they're reflecting back green. And it's a similar principle with the infrared and how it's working. Again, I'm telling you right now, I'm not an expert in it yet, because otherwise I would be able to predict the results of the camera, and I'm just not there yet. I can't tell you. All I can do is show you, what it looks like and what it does, and that. And the beyond this is like all they need is one camera. What if the next camera that captures the Elantra leaving out, going, hits Taylor, goes up Walenta? What if that very next camera that captures it is in regular color and it's a white car? All of this is for nothing, all this conversation, because it's like, that's proof. Unless, that was like in a relay race. He got to Taylor, tag the other car. Okay, go up there, and they'll think that's me. Which is not not impossible, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening that way.
But also, as we were discussing, the 912 to 921, if his phone was pinging around the residence, then they would have got a daytime view of that Elantra. And like you're saying, there would not be any discussion then.
Right.
Because you'd see the car in the light, right?
Yeah. I'm sure they probably looked for, and maybe they have, like, confirmation of, like, phone location and visual of the car.
Right.
That's very helpful. I mean, hopefully they have that. It's would be kind of hard to argue, and multiple instances of that. That would really help. That would show, like when I did my test of trying to figure out if Xana's last TikTok post was 412 using that Unfurl website. I went and I posted a comment on somebody's page, and I typed into the comment the time I hit the enter button, and then I checked the time. It was only off by 35 seconds. I did it 3-4 times just to be sure. So the more instances you have to show something is repeated, comes up with the same results, and I think you can trust your results.
Of course, isn't that how science works? And that's how you get, results that are conclusive of what you're trying to prove.
Right.
You're not just talking about it and having, reflections or, like unfounded evidence. You're actually giving scientific evidence to show, well, this plus this equals this, and we've done this 20 times and it's still comes across as the same outcome.
Right. But you do it 20 times, you still get that one guy that said, yeah, but on the 21st time, I bet it doesn't do it. There's always going to be the doubting Thomas, I know.
Don't you hate that?
Like there's a person in one of the chats, and I said, so I said, I have this infrared camera. I mean, it's one model number off of the one at Linda Lane. Would that matter? And she was like, yep, that matters. That matters. Not gonna. So basically, she's throwing out anything I would say at all because one model number off. Sorry. Thanks for playing.
Do you think at times people just don't like us and they're not going to believe anything
sure.
that we have to say? It's like, well, we don't like their personality, or we don't like them. So therefore, whatever they say, it doesn't matter if they're right on point. We're going to disagree just to disagree.
Don't you feel like guilter is kind of kind of like a semi-friendly word, not too bad, but inside of guilter, it comes packed with, you probably hate the Constitution, you just want to see a man die, don't matter if he's innocent or guilty, maybe you're overly excited about the firing squad, you want to see the new firing squad in action. They probably have all kinds of things that are tied into that name guilter. I mean, I hope not. I hope they realize we're all the same.
Last night, I don't know if you watched the live I did about the death penalty. I thought that was pretty interesting because it did break down hold on a second. I found that video, so I'm going to show where you're shining the trees. Hold on a second, Jeff. Well, it broke down about the death penalty, and it's still, I believe that people, no matter what you tell them, if they want to be contrary, they're going to be contrary, you know?
Hmm.
See, like right here, this is the camera image that you showed in that one video. And as you see the trees, as you were just saying, look at how the difference of shade there is in the trees versus the background. Can you explain that?
Well, I mean, that is probably a result of the light bulb on the front of my house. So it's lighting what's obviously, if you're standing closer to a light bulb, you're going to get more light. Just like if you're standing closer to a campfire, closer you are, the warmer you feel, right? So the closer the tree is to the light source, the brighter it's going to be.
Will you tell me, do you see a white car or do you see a green car right there, Jeff? Because that
Yeah.
camera is pointed right at that vehicle, correct?
Right. Yeah. Hard to tell. I mean, all I can say is that it appears to my eye looking at it, it's light and shade.
Any better?
Uh-oh. You know what? She's getting off at the exit near our house. I'm
Okay.
watching on the Find My iPhone. I could, I'm finding all kinds of like images of the shot with the pumpkins, but they're the ones that are coming up in my search are cropped. And I know you wanted to see that white truck off to the
Yeah.
left. I don't know why I'm not coming up with the full.
Leslie said that if she'll let you play, hey, look, there's a bug, that she'll buy y'all dinner or lunch tomorrow.
Oh man. I don't know if that. We start talking about paying our mortgage. Maybe we got something. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll pull an all-nighter for you, Leslie, just to get Jeff's mortgage paid.
I tell you what, though, are you going to be talking about this later? Because I know later I might be able to come on here without a problem.
How much later are we talking about here?
A few hours later, could probably get back on.
Well,
Like- You
It
know
seems
you
like-
want to go live. You're 24/7
you know you want to
type of guy.
come live on a Friday. Come on, you don't have anything else to do.
I know
Charlie.
when you're not live on YouTube, you start to break out in hives, don't you? And you got to get on it. You got to turn that camera on, and then all of a sudden you heal back up.
Kathy's around the corner.
Yeah, I do need to run hide. Wait, let me see.
Oh my God. I go live and look who's live right now. Check this shit out. This cracks me up.
Who's live?
Nobody was live on this, but I go live and check it out. I really like this guy right here. So if y'all could go give Hidden Killers
yeah,
with
he's
Tony
good.
Bruschi a sub and a
couple of his
like.
shows.
He really has some good stuff. I probably will go live because I have a missing persons case that I told. There's a green car. That I told PKC I would show,
Uh-huh.
but it'll probably be more like 8 o'clock Central. So whatever time that is yours, 9.
What time is it where you are now?
It
Oh, so 9
is.
o'clock.
It is
I've got-
4:06.
Okay, so I'm an hour ahead. I'm 5 p.m. over here.
Yeah,
So you're talking about 9 my time?
yeah.
Look at me now.
Yeah,
I'm
that
watching
would
the
be cool.
I'm watching the Ring camera to see when she pulls up. This
Yeah.
is so
She is
pathetic.
here. She is here.
You know what'll happen is like I'll run upstairs. I'll be trying. I got to give the dog some medicine for his ear stuff right now. But she'll come over and she'll look at me and my headphones. You know how the headphone stuff, the headphone cushiony things sometimes break apart and leave stuff on your face. She'd be like,
Yeah.
"You've been wearing headphones, haven't you? You've been on live with 12 gauge."
12 gauge. That will be the word. 12 gauge. My ears will explode. Everything else. All right, Jeff. Look for
Yeah,
me.
let me jump off. I'll
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 send
find,
you a text. I'll send
okay.
you a text if I go on. All right.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
All
And
right.
maybe we can. Who knows? Maybe we can point that infrared camera out the window at the street and see what if
Hey,
we
that would
learn
be
anything.
awesome. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Alrighty. All right. Sounds good.
All right.
I'll talk to y'all
All
later.
right. Bye-bye. Bye. 12 gauge. Run upstairs, Jeff. Act like you're watching TV. Leslie, it sounds like you do this all the time. I'm off work in 10 minutes. Woot woot. 12 gauge. I'm trying to get Tony on your show. Really? That'd be awesome. I like Tony. Tony has some good theories to his stuff. If you haven't heard this video, I want to play it for you guys. I think it's pretty cool. Has nothing to do with Idaho, and it has everything to do with more pressing issues that are going on in our world today. What the hell? Here we go.
Addicted to addies, I'm gripping the day by the ray of the sun just to keep it at bay. Trying to unwind from the webs that I spun, but the thread pulls tight with the rise of the sun. Drink it down, yeah, I'm 8 deep now. Heartbeat skipping like a scratched out vow. Rolling hardcore, soul in repeat. Eyes wide open, but I never feel sleep. Crash and I burn with a stench that reeks. Desire in my lungs every time that I speak. I'm lost in the wild, no compass, no map. Emotions on fire, just a pill in my lap. Circle of madness, I'm drowning again. Xannies for breakfast, some weed with the gin. Is there a road where the spiral can bend? Or will I just spin till the silence begins? Empty bottles and the smoke never clears. Each drag a confession, each puff hides the tears. I'm stuck in a loop, pain dressed as relief. With a smile on my face, but my soul's a thief. Popping, I'm locking my fears in a cage. Trying to dance with my demons on the self-made stage. Every sip, every tab, just a mask on the ache. Till the sunrise exposes what the dark couldn't fake. Is it peace that I crave or just silence from thought? These highs feel like heaven but cost more than I got. A carousel of chaos, I'm chained to the ride. Looking for God in a pill I can't hide. Crash and I burn with a stench that reeks. Desire in my lungs every time that I speak. I'm lost in the wild, no compass, no map. Emotions on fire, just a pill in my lap. Circle of madness, I'm drowning again. Xannies for breakfast, some weed with the gin. Is there a road where the spiral can bend? Or will I just spin till the silence begins? Head wide open, thoughts like a flood. In a world full of pain, I'm just mixing the mud. Maybe tomorrow or maybe the end will come when the spiral can finally descend. Head wide open, thoughts like a flood. In a world full of pain, I'm just mixing the mud. Maybe tomorrow or maybe the end will come when the spiral can finally descend. Head wide open, thoughts like a flood. In a world full of pain, I'm just mixing the mud. Maybe tomorrow or maybe the end will come when the spiral can finally descend. Head wide open, thoughts like a flood. In a world full of pain, I'm just mixing the mud.
Let me know what y'all think about that. I'm trying to create some new stuff that I can play on here where I don't get copyrighted. I think that's pretty cool. Let me show you what PKC sent me. I mean, I'm always scared to present certain things. Not that I'm competitive with any other creator on here, but it seems like I present something, then all of a sudden everybody jumps on it. Is it coincidental? Could it be? Who knows? But this is a case that I want to jump on. This is The parents of Alicia. Let me show this one first. Her name is Alyssa Petrov, missing since April 21st, 2025, South Jordan, Utah. She's 15 years old, female. And here's some extra photos. And if you've seen her, I guess you can't make that photo big. If you've seen her, call the South Jordan Police Department of Utah, 1-801-840-4000. Once again, here's a couple of photos. 15 years old. Alyssa Petrov. And let me show you the page that her parents have created for her. Mountain Mama, how you doing? How's it going? I think so too. I don't like to do that, Mountain Mama. I don't like to copy other people's stuff. It just seemed watered down. You know what I mean? Here's the page that they created. It says, if you see Alyssa, please call South Jordan Police immediately, 801-840-4000. Press 1, then 1. Case number SJ25-11568. You can also call 911 and mention national case number M918392300. Or you can call Alyssa's mom, anonymous, 801-780-0885. We offer a $20,000 reward. Find Alyssa Reward PDF. Alyssa, if you can see this, please know that we love you. We will always love you. We miss you. All of your friends and our friends are very worried too. We all want you to come back home. You will not get in trouble for running away. We're not mad at you. We absolutely love you regardless of what happened, and you're welcome home at any time. We just want you to return back so that we're together as a happy family who care about each other, and we will try our hardest to make you happy. Please come back. Please share to help us find Alyssa. There's the Facebook page, South Jordan and Texas Cooperation, South Jordan Police, Endangered Alert, Facebook, South Jordan Police, Original Post, X.com, South Jordan Police, NCMEC, MissingKid.org, NCMEC number 2049303, Facebook, Missing in America, Facebook, Missing People in America, South Jordan Alert, ABC4 News, KSL News, KUTV News. And there's a bigger picture of Alyssa. So her name is Alyssa Petrov, and she's from South Jordan, Utah. So if you've seen her, please notify they've arrested 3 guys since she's gone. Her dad is heartbroken. Miracle Red Cloud missing from Utah. So here's another picture. So it sounds like they got into a verbal argument and she ran away. The question is, who would she run away to and with? Are there people that the parent didn't really approve of? If you notice right there, it looks like she has a birthmark on her left forearm or some kind of scar. If you can see that right there that I'm pointing out. So there's something to notice about this individual. It looks like a birthmark or a scar of some sort. So it's on her left forearm. Underneath, looks like she has brown eyes. Look kind of petite. And it looks like she wears that black hair scrunchie in most of her pictures. So you can see it right there. I don't believe these pictures were all taken the same day. It could be, but yeah, maybe so, because there's the same shirt. Yeah, maybe it's the same day. See if she's wearing a scrunchie on any of these. Really can't tell. But these pictures were taken the same day, because there's the lavender shirt. It looks about Christmas time, maybe. So you can kind of see that marking right there. So it could be a scar, it could be a birthmark, something of that nature. She doesn't look very big, very tall. She looked kind of petite. And she's 15 years old. She's been missing since April 21st, 2025. So let's see if YouTube has any videos yet on this person. Alyssa. So what have you been doing, Jeff? Nothing, baby. Nothing. Okay, here's one. Let's look at this one.
Let's help to find her.
It's been more than a month since anyone has seen 15-year-old Elisa Petrov.
Her parents, my heart just breaks for them.
South Jordan police said this UTA station in Provo is her last known location. They said she was asking people for help getting to Las Vegas. Wednesday, police said they'd arrested two men who they said had been talking to her online before her disappearance.
Was targeted by adults in a vulnerable situation, and she needs to be brought home.
Matthew Menard of Miami is being charged for exploitation and enticement of a minor, and Samuel Mitchell of Harriman, Utah, for exploitation of a minor. Both men were booked into the Salt Lake County Jail. Neither are charged in connection with her disappearance.
Really hope that with the arrests that something comes of this, and that there.
I mean, it is scary to know that your younger loved ones could be talking with predators online, but it does happen.
Is some justice.
As South Jordan police and other agencies continue looking for Elisa, so are Utahns.
I have been seeing flyers around Provo, and each bus stop I've seen through the UVX, I've seen a poster there.
Mitchell Hawes is at the Provo train station often. He says he knows how supportive Utah's communities can be.
Reposts on social media and stuff like that will definitely help with awareness, word through mouth.
Be living on the East Coast and see a West Coast missing flyer. And it's so important that that your share could hit the right person who might have seen this child. Or
asking Elisa to trust her family, come home, and know that's where she belongs.
We just want you all to be safe. There's a lot of people who care about you, and that's the most important thing, is getting you home.
Richard says never stop sharing her story. Keep looking.
I hope she finds her way back home.
South Jordan police ask if anyone has
So what part is South Jordan in Utah? Is that by Salt Lake City? Is that north or south in Utah? Where is South Jordan? maybe we can do this case later on. I do want to kind of. I hopped online as soon as I got home because I wanted to talk about that. Okay, I did see the Grizzly True Crime. She did one, so maybe we can use her stuff tonight and talk about it. There's one on law and crime. Yeah, so why don't we do that tonight? About 9 o'clock or so. So I am going to go to the gym and do some other stuff that I need done. Um, so you guys, thank you so much for being on here. If you want to join me later on tonight, we will definitely be talking about this case and discussing more about it and see if we can get the word out, because any missing child, adult in general, need to get their story out. I'm not a missing persons advocate by no means, but I do believe that when people could be in potential danger, um, their story needs to be told. And I don't mind sharing it on my platform for no other reason than to have the story told. So you guys be looking out, notify yourselves with the notify button. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Um, yeah, that would be awesome too, Leslie. If they would be willing to come up here, I'll give them a platform for them to talk on. So hopefully I'll see you guys later on. If I don't do anything tonight, most definitely tomorrow during the day sometime. All right. Y'all have an awesome day. Like I always say, Maestro, cue that music.